Volunteers TV show, inspiring change through action. Hello, viewers. You're once again welcome to the most informative and interesting show, Volunteers TV show, here on Channel 1 TV. We are very privileged today to have with us some two outstanding personalities doing so much with the organizations supporting humanity. As the saying goes, ladies first. Let me introduce to you Miss Rosalind Abigail Chere Nati, the founder of Africa Dyslexia organization. Rosalind is a transformative advocate for dyslexic individuals and those with related learning differences across Africa. Beyond her advocacy, she is the lead hospitality consultant at IQ Mundo and serves as the country representative for the Swiss Education Group here in Ghana and also in Liberia and Sierra Leone. Rosalind, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Also with us is Mr. Isaac Anyinakwa, who is the past Assistant Governor, Rotary District 9104, the member of Rotary Club of Accra Ridge. Lady and gentlemen, you are warmly welcome to Volunteers TV show.
Thank you very much for having us.
I will start with Rosalind. Rosalind, can you share with us what exactly your organization is doing?
Thank you so much, SKD. Is it okay to call you SKD?
SKD, it's fine.
Well, the Africa Dyslexia organization, we have a very simple mission, is to be able to create awareness about learning disabilities, that I love to term it as learning differences, here in Ghana and across Africa. SKD, we all sat in a classroom where we misjudge some of our mates that were not doing well and calling them, oh, you blockheaded with your tear ball, like you teaching them and they are not getting it. And we all laugh and ridicule them and then sideline them. But research have shown that these kids are not really people who are blockheaded, and that there are underlying issues that actually affect them because their brain process information differently. And because of that, when they are in the classroom, because we teach in one size fits all approaches, the learning or the teaching is not getting to them in the way they love to learn. So we realize that the underlying issue is that teachers are not being trained well. I don't want to take away that at the training colleges, but then there is a huge gap that we have not really addressed. Even when you take our simple education in the form of something you can see, so somebody with a visual impairment, hearing impairment, someone with assistive device like a wheelchair, that is when there is root cause. But when it comes to hidden issues like dyslexia, dyscalculia, ADHD, you cannot see them. That means there is nothing wrong. Of course, I'm sitting by you here. I was considered as blockheaded in school.
You, Rosalind?
Yes, me.
Hold on.
Me.
I'll come back to you. We've heard a lot about Roots.
Sure.
Locally, internationally. What exactly is Roots and what do you do?
So Rotary, thank you very much for having us. Rotary was formed by 4 friends. The main focus when it started was for inclusion, friendship. And that was the main focus when Rotary started, friendship. A group of friends who found themselves in Chicago and realized that they didn't have that kind of community that they were in, that everybody was each other's keeper. They found themselves in Chicago and all of a sudden everybody is minding their own business. So they decided to come together. So even though we are seen more for the impact and the project that we are doing, Rotary started off first as a friendship organization, fellowship, people coming together. Then that evolved, and then we said that of what benefit if we share fellowship and our professions should not be brought to fall. So we started looking at our vocation as an opportunity to serve society. And so we came together, you come to meeting, we will share our complimentary cards for networking and all that. Then the third focus was that let our professions that we are happy to share fellowship with now be of benefit to the society. So we started with friendship, we started with vocation or businesses, making sure that we do business when it comes to integrity and all that. Then we said that let's make sure that our business and our vocations become benefits to the society. So the fourth aspect or the third aspect, which is doing service, is what has become the major picture of Rotary now. We want to make an impact in the world. We want to make sure that we do good in the world. We want to make sure that we change the communities that we live in. And we do that under 7 main areas of focus. I'll just mention 2. In the area of disease prevention.
So in terms of the
projects or
intervention.
Yes, interventions that we do, we are looking at disease prevention. So if you would watch, our major focus over the years, for the past 25 years, is eradicating polio. So if you hear polio, it is Rotary that advocated and charged that we want to eradicate. So that is what we do. Basically, we want to make an impact in the world. We want to develop leaders, and we want to make sure that there is change in the society.
Thank you very much, Isaac. I'll come back to you. But how could it be that at the initial stages of your upbringing, somebody could imagine to say that
Yeah.
you are blockheaded?
Yeah.
How?
Well, I mean, SK, you met me at the time where you thought this girl is so ambitious.
That's right.
Yeah, but then the people who went to school with me from the beginning stage would tell, in my JHS days, would tell you otherwise. I will be the one hiding in the class because I don't want the teacher to call on me to. Yes. I wasn't good in at doing that foundational basic level stage. I struggled a lot. Dictations, I will get 0/0. The akukromoti on my paper. I'll be beaten. I'll be caned, and reading itself kind of runs through almost all subjects, even including mathematics. So if I'm not good in reading, you can imagine the other subjects. I wouldn't be good in all of them, and so I failed BEC, and the bottom line was go learn a trade at that time. But somebody was the one who was like, nah, Rosalind, I think you're good to go to a vocational school and learn cooking, because I loved cooking. But when I went to the vocational school, something did change. I became very interested in studies. And so in my basic school level, when it was reading and writing, it was not applicable to my interest. And so on the academic score, the teacher will score me 0, thinking that I'm a slow learner or I'm not serious. But it is they that failed me. But if educators and parents will pay attention, and for me, if it hadn't been that friend of mine who spotted my parents would have even been blind about it and sent me to the salon to go and learn how to do hairstyling.
You are very right. So, Isaac,
Yeah.
what are some of the opportunities one can derive from joining Rotary Club?
So again, from where Rosalind is coming from, Rotary looks at some of these projects and fund them, and Rotary looks at such things that, as you said, not everybody wants to go and maybe donate books to a school, but we could go beyond that and be able to do maybe a workshop to be able to get people to speak to children like that. Beyond that, Rotary brings a sense of citizenship to everybody. That once you have been put in a privileged position or you have something to offer, let's help back, let's give back to the society. And so we are all not very well to do or rich, but you have that heart to be able to help the society. And so once you join Rotary, you begin to believe in that word of being a citizen, trying to care for other people. Also, when you join Rotary, you join a body of over 3 million, 4 million people around the world that are also doing. So in your own small corner, you may be donating to an orphanage, you may be doing all that. But when you join Rotary, you now join a bigger group that we can do well and make an impact. And of course, it builds your own leadership opportunities. Rotary, we elect our leaders 3 years ahead of time. And so before you even take office, you know who is coming after you. And then we build leaders. And of course, last but not least, you get a chance to be able to, let me say, do impactful projects that you'll be happy about. So it's an opportunity, and we live by integrity. We have what we call the four-way test. It may not cut across, but we try to have some ethics around us. And so as a Rotarian, anything that you want to think or say or do, you want to ask yourself whether it's the truth. So we are building some ethics, and we start from we have those in the second cycle institutions, we have the university, and we have the Rotarians. So Rotary builds people all around to become a citizen, help the society, and also integrity. If you go by the tenets, you will be a person of integrity.
One very important things for us to consider as a people is volunteerism. But in our recent times, it's very difficult to find people volunteering. What inspires you, Rosalind, to do what you're doing? Because I know it is purely a voluntary organization you are running, the African Dyslexia organization. It's voluntary. What is inspiring you to do this?
You're so right. And when it comes to volunteerism, and especially in our context in Ghana and Africa, I realized that not majority understand what really volunteerism means. And even running this organization, you find people coming around and they feel like maybe because of some of your network, you've gotten some millions of dollars, and so they are coming to get some of it, only for them to enter and they realize that, Charlie, you're scooping one city to do your projects, and they get disappointed. But for me personally, I would say that volunteerism is one of the ways that helped me to develop my social skills and my social network. Back in the vocational school, I remember when I went there after 1 year, we had the Ghana Red Cross came over to go into schools to provide awareness on sexual reproductive health and HIV and AIDS. Even though I really didn't understand that, I went and I would say I learned so much through that. They trained me with service to mankind. I like bringing people, I like seeing good in people. And so it is all career on hold for the past 5 years to champion Africa Dyslexia organization, because I know I could have been on the streets by now. And if nobody is doing it, if this has been here, research has been going on for over 100 years, and Ghana, there isn't really anything happening, or in Africa, on when it comes to dyslexia and related learning differences. When are we going to start? And so when I saw that gap, I was very much okay to put my career on hold, because I don't want any child
To suffer the way
I did. And somebody maybe now has something to look out for, or a child believe that I am also somebody.
Rosie has just mentioned the issue about the difficulty in funding volunteerism projects. So, at your end in Rotary, for instance, Rotary District 9104,
yeah.
What are some of the projects you undertake?
Again, it starts from integrity. When especially when people are doing volunteering, when it's not everybody that is able to get onto the field to go and do the volunteer work, but some of them have got the funding that they can do. Even, I mean, when you even do your accounts, and there are certain areas for corporate social responsibility, you can get some tax rebates of that. So it's not everybody that can go onto the field. So it will take some people who are ready, maybe Rosalind and Co, to go onto the field to do the work. So you would more often than not find uh, organizations that are willing to fund certain projects in line with what they believe in. Some people believe in health, some people will believe in what she's teaching, others who believe in maybe empowerment. And so, depending on the line that you are doing the project, there are some funding that you can receive. For Rotary, we have what we call the Rotary Foundation, and all Rotarians voluntarily we contribute to that foundation, and that foundation is where the Rotary clubs and even maybe the district will now apply directly for funds to do projects. Sometimes you can take a minimum for the global grants, it's for minimum of $30,000. But for the district grants, the little ones, $5,000. But Rotarians also go out there and raise funds because they believe that once you raise the funds, we'll use it for the purpose for which we raise the funds for.
So, what are some of the projects that you have undertaken in your district?
Well, in our district, we've done the USAID programs where we actually make sure that we empower women, especially when you go to some of the schools. There are no, let me say, place of convenience. Okay. So we'll provide that. We'd also do a lot of boreholes under the water and sanitation. For my club, we're actually trying to build a maternity clinic at the Malata government clinic where women go to the market. They do all the antenatals at the government clinic, but when it's time to deliver, there's no maternity, and whilst they are being transported, sometimes they lose their children. So we are doing maternal. There's also the disease prevention, as I talk, polio. And so every club, we go into the communities and look at the needs of the community and fund them. So every area, we are doing cervical cancer. We are also doing what we call the health programs, making sure that we empower community health assistants to become the first line of treatment in the communities. So it cuts across. Once the intervention is under disease prevention, maternal and child health, or what we are now focusing on in Rotary is what we call the program of skill, where we want to change the whole community. So when we come to the community, we want to make sure that children are catered for, women in the market are catered for, men are catered for.
Holistic kind of approach.
Yes, so that there is a proper impact. Yes.
You are a chartered accountant. Beyond your profession, you still are making some time to impact communities, touch lives. Many people don't see the need to do that. How can we together, as champions of volunteerism, active citizenship, patriotism, be able to ensure that we are encouraging the populace to involve themselves in issues of volunteerism, touching lives, and being patriotic? How can we go about this?
I think that we should start from the basic levels of our education in our school. We have got some of the clubs, the civic clubs that children can join from the onset. For me, when my children come and anything they talk about, Daddy, we want to go and a group of us have come together, we want to go and donate something, straight away I want to get involved. And so right at the basic level, children should be made to understand that all life is not rosy. A friend of mine just said his kids came to him one day and said, Daddy, we are spoiled children. And Daddy said, why? He said, we get everything that we want. And it hits the father because probably this child may not also have seen that it is not the same out there. So I do that, then it becomes easy for you to be able to offer your time. And we Rotarians, we say we are busy people. And so it is not that we have the time in excess, but it's because we have built, it has been built in us that all fingers are not equal. And so I think that we should start from the basics to make children understand that as a citizen, it is your civic responsibility to give back. And people should not abuse it. If people are volunteering their time, people should not abuse it. Sometimes because they know that X will be there to come and support us, they don't want to work. they always want to rely on that volunteering. But volunteering is money, it is time. But if it costs what she's putting in, what she's doing, and if it costs what I'm doing free, if they go and take a consultant, the consultant will be paid in dollars. But what we are doing as volunteers, because we are doing it from heart. So let's start from the basic. Let's go down and let our children, even in our homes, let's once a while clear their stuff, let them go and give it to a needy, get some funds for them to go and donate something. And then once it's inbuilt, when they grow, they will be able to still do what we do.
I think I will go back to what Isaac was saying right from the beginning. It's funny that I was not taught at home like that. I wasn't exposed like that, but in children, very early. I also feel we should add this even in our training colleges and universities as well, where they are. So high school, we need to have that embedded in some kind of program where you're expected to be part of a project.
Ike,
Yep.
let's take some final words from you that will inspire the populace to involve themselves in voluntary actions.
Well, if we want to look at our conditions, and we ourselves may need help, but volunteering, as you said, what you also get back is that social capital, the capital network that cannot be bought. The network that you get from volunteering your time cannot be bought. I get to go and do audits for Rotary in African countries, and I don't have to pay for them. But I get to see other countries, I get to meet other people. And so you may not get physical rewards when it comes to volunteerism, but then sometimes that satisfaction, that smile on the face of the person, especially when you go and do polio eradication, and the smile on the child's face, that brings the satisfaction. And so if you're out there and you have not thought about giving your time, you would want to apportionate something, you get something back. The Bible says that unto whom much is given, much is required. You may not have money, as she said, most of public schools, they may not have money, but they may have the time. They may be able to go and do cleanup. You may just go and visit the aged. Volunteering is not all about money. It's about making the quality time that you can. And so if you're out there and you have not had the opportunity, you can sign up to it. There are so many voluntary groups around that are making sure that find a passion. Hers is dyslexia, others are maybe clubfoot. Just find your passion, and then once your passion, I'm sure her passion is there now. I think that probably, I believe that I may also have suffered that in the early stages. I'm a late learner. I didn't think I would become a chartered accountant. Again, I was also, maybe I didn't like studies. I didn't like study. I went to one of the good schools, but I didn't like study. I was always at the bottom of the class. In fact, one of my lecturers, high school, there are two of us. Anytime we see him now, we want to approach him. He kept using the word, the two of you will not see light at the end of the tunnel. And there were two of us, always looking down on us, because probably we didn't feel like studying. We were just going through the system from primary, JHS, secondary. We didn't really understand what we were doing. But right after that, we are late learners. All the qualifications that you can think about, I've acquired them. And so I appreciate that. And I think that, as she said, this is prevalent. We should make sure that we go out there and let people understand that volunteering is a good thing to do.
Africa Dyslexia Foundation, you've been amazing.
Thank you.
What are your final words?
I'm using this opportunity to invite the general public and everybody. We have the Africa Dyslexia Conference coming up. And this is organized in partnership with UNESCO, UNICEF, KGL Foundation, and other amazing partners at the Association International School, happening on the 13th and 14th of August. We invite you to go to our website, www.africadyslexia.org, and you'll have all the information. Sign up, or you can even share it with your child's school and encourage them to sign up and come, or sponsor a teacher, or sponsor somebody from your workplace to attend. We're also still looking for sponsorship, and so please, we need your support. Every child has a potential, and we believe every child can learn, and every child is a star. But that together with you, if we partner with you, we can make that reality come true.
Awesome. We want to thank you very much for making time with us on Volunteers TV show. Viewers, we've been talking with Mr. Isaac Aninakwa, who is the past Assistant Governor of Rotary District 9104, member of Rotary Club of Accra Ridge, and our sweet sister, Rosalind Abigail Chenate, who is the founder of Africa Dyslexia Organization. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Thank you.
Volunteers TV show, inspiring change through action.